How much lower can the markets go? Have we reached rock bottom? What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John and this is John Paul Investing. I'm not going to lie to you guys, it has been very difficult to watch the portfolio drop in value from at one point the stock portfolio was around 30 something thousand, like 32, 33,000. That has since dropped more than half to under 15,000, actually a little bit above 15,000 at the time of this recording, but at market close yesterday with NNDM around like $5.50 a share and Sensonics around like $1.70 a share. I mean, guys, there is blood in the streets right now. So that being said, where exactly is the bottom going to be? How can we figure out where a good point to buy is and not really be too greedy in the process looking for the bottom? So looking at all the macros, looking at how the CV-19 recovery is moving along with all like the vaccines and people opening up, things are starting to get back to a little bit of normalcy, and with increasing inflation figures as we have seen over the past few weeks, with CPI going as far as close to 4%, if not higher in some parts of the country. Although it's been a pretty long and drawn out breather, it is something the markets needed because everything was basically going straight up for the past, 3 or 4 months right before this bear market hit. But now that the markets have been beat down for so long, this is where some opportunities are starting to present themselves. This is where you have to do your research. As I always say, this is where you're going to start really finding the arbitrage, the valuations arbitrage in companies that you really like. Even though the company you are looking at might be really good, in this case, NNDM, the price can still fall. And if they put all of these companies together in one basket and you have 3 really shitty companies and then 1 really good company, there's a chance that all of them might be valued pretty poorly. But this is where your logic comes in and you figure out that the market wants to, be manic depressive, and this is where you come in and you scoop the best one in the bunch and essentially get as much of it as possible. So while it does suck to see the markets dropping and continuously being red and red, we get 1 green day for every 10 red days at this point. There is some light at the end of the tunnel because, guys, you are getting an opportunity to buy the stocks that you already want at a cheaper price. If you're looking to day trade and really just speculate on price and timing, that is okay. That is not for everyone, and most people generally don't do very well when it comes to that. So the easiest thing for you to do is to start doing your homework and look for the companies that really have a future and just buy the hell out of them. So I'm going to pull up NNDM for you guys and look over the technicals for you. I'm also going to share some things that have been brought up on their Twitter. Investors like to complain that NNDM does not tell us enough about, what they're doing, but, they don't have to. But the fact that they are telling us what they are telling us is, enough for me personally. We all want NNDM to succeed, guys, but it is going to take some time. We all want these tech stocks to succeed, guys. I want Sensonics to succeed. I want to start seeing Jumia succeeding even more. Jumia has been a stock that I have kind of neglected at this point just because I've been focusing so much on NNDM and on Sensonic, but Jumia is another big stock that I would keep my eyes on, guys. Anyways, let's go to the charts. So starting from the run in late September up through around January, we're going to see these blue resistance lines that acted as support. So starting with the first run, we had a $6 resistance level. We had around a $8 resistance level. We had like $10.50, and it just price was exploding after every drop from the the price offerings. I mean the share offerings that we were getting in the past. But since that rise, we have seen price absolutely destroy these price floors and continue to move lower and lower over the past few months. So right now we're actually below $6 per share. Now the difference between the $6 price point in October versus the $6 price point now is that there is a lot more shares outstanding in NNDM than there was in October around 6 months ago. During the first run to $6 that NNDM had, I believe there was around like 50 million shares outstanding. Valuation for NNDM at the time was probably like $200 or $300 million at the most. They were sitting on maybe $20 to $30 million in cash, and there really wasn't all that institutional interest that was starting to build up as the price started running. Fast forward to today, we have around 257 million shares outstanding, but the price is the exact same. And I mean stock price, but valuation is totally different. We're looking at around $300 million market cap last October, as opposed to around $1.4 billion today at around the same price. Why is that? Well, that is because there is simply more shares outstanding. NNDM had a bunch of shares tied up that they were waiting to issue to institutional investors, and as the price started to rise, we don't know exactly what's happening behind the scenes, but we knew that NNDM was talking to big institutional investors and they were buying up their shares. Fortunately and unfortunately for us, While the price is the same, the valuation has gone up tremendously. The pro being that we won't have as much volatility in the stock because we do have big institutional investors that are holding the stock, one being ARK Invest, and the con being that we really didn't get to see as much price appreciation because they were giving these shares to big institutional investors as opposed to us retail investors. But that's where I want to get to this point, is how far can this go in terms of valuation? You guys have to understand that right now we are paying substantially less than some big institutional investors were paying for this stock. The last cash raise was $12.80 per share at Nano Dimension, and they raised over $500 million, and we already know they're starting to put this money to use. So as I'm recording, this price is starting to move up a little bit. I have to remind you guys that you don't want to get greedy. The same way you can be greedy on the way up, you can also be greedy on the way down. And the way that happens is you simply will wait and wait and wait and look for the bottom. And I'm telling you now, it is never going to happen. You are never going to find a strategy that is going to tell you exactly where the bottom is. So while you guys see these lines as support and resistance, and these are, very concrete lines at a specific price, this does not mean that you should only react at these specific prices. You should look at these more as areas of support and resistance, where if price gets to this area and you have genuine interest in the company and you've done your research, then this is going to be a tremendously great area for you to average in your stock. Average in your position, I should say. A lot of you might use a lot of technical indicators on your charts, but remember that price is king, guys, at the end of the day. So looking at Nano Dimension, let's say the RSI is overbought right now. Just because it's overbought doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy it at under $6. Like I said, you are literally paying half for what big institutional investors were paying for this stock. And at $6 a share, they are valued at around $1.5 billion. How much cash do they have right now? Well, we know that they spent around $70 million in cash and around $30 to $40 million in equity. Really, they're probably sitting on around $1.4 billion in cash as we speak, but they have 2 new revenue generating assets that they just purchased. So as time progresses and we start to see these earnings, especially the earnings coming up in around 9 days from now, we will start to see some progress and get an idea for what kind of growth and what kind of revenue figures they're going to be generating at this point in time. If you're on my Patreon group, you would know that I was estimating between $40 and $50 million in revenues, and this is going to be for a full year going through Q1 of next year, not quite just the next 9 months, but the full 12 months from now. Once we start to see Nano Dimension producing, I'm very curious to see where exactly these valuations will go. But for right now, I think Nano Dimension is exactly where it needs to be for people who want to accumulate Nano Dimension stock. You don't want it to be expensive if you want to buy it, really. So take advantage while it is still cheap. I think the next price floor for Nano Dimension is probably going to be around between $3 and $4. And as it approaches $3 to $4, I will be averaging in pretty heavy. I still have my base position, but if price continues to fall, I may reassess other positions I have and simply move those into Nano Dimension simply because it is too juicy to pass up. Now, I would recommend you guys check out Nano Dimension's Twitter page. You can follow them at 3DPCB. They follow me, by the way. Pat myself on the back. Their last post was about Moore's Law and how they're looking to break this framework around Moore's Law based on the recent acquisition of Nanofabrica and combining that with their existing technology. Basically, they're going to be able to integrate more transistors into their circuit boards because they have full 3D capabilities. And they have a bunch of other posts that I will not go through in this video, but I really recommend you guys check out their page because it is free and they will keep you up to date. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at JP_investing. So have you guys been buying Nano Dimension all the way down? Let me know in the comments if you guys have been averaging in as price has been falling over the past few months, or if you are waiting for the bottom. Let me know your approach. Remember, you guys can follow when I take new positions or release any other information that I might not get out on YouTube. All you have to do is check out the Patreon link in the description. Overall, I am still very bullish on Nano Dimension. The markets are just being the markets. They just behave the way they do because people like to speculate, and there's always money to be made both ways. So that's just how the market is, guys. So that's all for this video, guys. If you liked what you're watching, make sure you hit that like button. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell notification to get notified when I make videos just like this one. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.